Okay, this video is about the y-intercept for linear functions. This is review from what you should have learned last year. So it says the y-intercept is the beginning amount, or the starting amount, or the initial amount. It is where the graph crosses the y-axis, which is why it is called the y-intercept. So we're going to start with finding the y-intercept from a graph. You're going to highlight the y-axis, if that is something that would help you. And you look for the point where the line crosses the y-axis. So on example A, if you want to highlight your y-axis, it's right there. It crosses right here. So there's two ways of writing this. You could write it as a coordinate point, 0, 1, or you could just write 1. Depends on kind of how that question is asked. Okay, you have example B to do on your own, so pause the video and complete that, and then we'll start the next section. So, finding your y-intercept from an equation. The equation needs to be in slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. The y-intercept is the number, your b value, that is being added or subtracted from the slope in the x variable. So, on A, right here is your y-intercept, which means b is negative 12 because you're subtracting 12. Example B, you are subtracting 2, so your y-intercept is negative 2. Okay, you've got two examples. Pause and complete those on your own. So now let's look at a y-intercept from a table. This time you're going to look for the y-intercept in the table, and it's going to look like this, when x is 0 and y is a number. If it is not given in the table, you have to work backwards or forwards excuse me, using the rate of change to find the y-intercept, and again, this is when x is 0. So if I look at example A, I'm looking for when x is 0. So x is 0, y is 2. So my y-intercept is 0, 2, or just 2. Okay, you're going to do B on your own. B does not have the y-intercept in the table, so you're going to have to look for it. Pause and we'll continue. So, from a word problem, the y-intercept is your beginning amount. So, example A, Jack has 5 toy trains. He plans to buy 2 new ones each month. He has, right now, 5. That's what he's starting with. So B is 5. Example B, the initial setup fee to have a website using the server is $48. Costs $44 per month to maintain the website. So the initial fee is at $48. So B is 48. Okay, example C, just to complete on your own, pause the video. Okay, the last one is finding the y-intercept from 2 points. So it says, are you given the y-intercept, which is 0 and a number? If not, you've got to calculate the slope, substitute in, and choose one ordered pair to sub in for x and y. Then you'll solve for B. So let's do example A. Example A, you're looking for when x is 0, y is a number. Well, it's right here. So that means 0, 5 is my y-intercept, or you could say B is 5. But on example B, you're not given a y-intercept. You're given an x-intercept and another coordinate point. So what we have to do is we have to calculate slope. Well, these 2 points, we already did slope on the other video, so I know that m is 15 over 14. So if I rewrite my equation as y equals 15/14 x plus b. That's what my equation should look like, but b should be a number. I don't have b, so I can take one of my coordinate points and I can substitute in and I can solve for b. So I'm going to use this first point because it looks better to me. Doesn't really matter. 0 equals 15 over 14 times 3 plus b. Well, 15 over 14 times 3 gives me 45/14, so 0 equals 45 over 14 plus b. If I isolate b, I would subtract it over, which means b is negative 45 over 14. Okay, you have one more to complete on your own, and then you are done.